Last holiday season, we were all pleasantly surprised when Atari announced the 2600 Plus, a modern scaled-down reimagining of the legendary 2600 game console. But this one connects up easily via HDMI to your modern televisions, though it still plays physical media. And that fit right in with Atari's model because they were already selling and reissuing those old cartridges. So a few months ago, when they announced the 7800 Plus, there was quite a bit of debate, I guess I will say, amongst the Atari community. Did we need the 7800 Plus? Was it just the same thing again in another package? What have they done new to iterate and improve upon what they released last year? That's exactly what we're about to find out after this. This video brought to you in part by Embraceware. Learn more about the ultimate game guide just ahead. Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thank you for taking the time to click on this video review. I have very much been looking forward to getting my hands on the 7800 Plus. I was among the people who was confused why you would just release another console with a different shell that does the same thing just a year later. And those are the things that I'm curious to find out. Now, you may already know that I was among the fortunate few who received this beautiful Atari 7800 Plus VIP box set. Now, it includes the console and Bentley Bear, but way more than you would receive if you purchased the 7800 Plus in the store. So many of these pieces, they deserve their own video for review. But in this video, I'm going to focus on exactly the parts that you would get if you purchased a retail box. That is, of course, the console, that new CX-78 Plus wireless controller, and the pack-in game Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest. So, without any further preamble, let's get to the table and get underway. Let's start here at the heart of the matter. Here is the 7800 Plus console. Now inside it's going to include a USB-C cable for power and an HDMI cable. And like the 2600 Plus before it, this is an 80% scale version, a reproduction of this original console. So here is the 2600 Plus from last year, and there's the 7800 Plus, so about the same in terms of depth. And I would say that the 7800 Plus is just a little bit more narrow, but it's effectively the same footprint. You might be thinking, as we kind of all did when the 7800 Plus was announced, that cosmetics are the only thing that really differentiate this unit from last year's 2600 Plus. But I spoke with my friend Ben over at PlayOn, who manufactures these devices, and he shared with me some of the work that went on under the hood, behind the scenes, to make this a more robust and capable platform. Things like this cartridge socket has been improved with longer contacts and better grip to hold in a variety of board sizes and dimensions that are inside of cartridges. More importantly, probably there's some chips inside that are dedicated to improve performance of controller responsiveness. If you ever played a paddle game, the 2600 Plus, and were like, it's not quite precise enough, it's a little jittery, all of that has been addressed here. So yes, software has been improved, and I understand that software is going to make its way back to the 2600 Plus, but it seems like the 7800 is going to be overall a more capable box, and probably the one you're going to want if you found the 2600 Plus to be lacking in the hardware department. Across the front edge here on the left, we have a power and pause button with a power LED, and then over on this side we have the select and reset. Underneath this front lip, we have both DB9 controller ports as well as the left and right difficulty switches. Around back, USB-C power in, and then over here we have the HDMI out, and then a toggle switch for 16:9 or 4:3. I don't know what animals are playing their Atari games in 16:9 and stretching them out, but quit it! Quit it, what are you doing? And I wouldn't even bother to show you the bottom. It's just some rubber feet and a little name badge, except something that was preserved here that could have easily been thrown away, but was not. This is the plastic structure that was molded into the original that would use to wind up the video, the AV cable that came out of the back of the unit when you were not using it. And like, what are you gonna wind around this? The irony is, this device is more wireless than ever with a new controller. There's no need for wires hanging around, and they unplugged from the back, but this was preserved as part of the original design of the bottom of the original 7800. The overall design of the Plus, no surprise, like the original it's modeled after, is a beauty. It's bringing back all those 86 feels for me. Before we get it plugged in though, let's check out the other parts. Let's move on to that controller. The new CX78 Plus Wireless Edition is pretty much the same CX78 that came out earlier in the year, except no wires. It also includes two dongles. This is a DB9 dongle for plugging into 7800 Plus, 2600 Plus, any legacy DB9 socket that you have on any unit, this will work wirelessly. Yeah, you can plug this into your vintage 1977 Sears Telegames if you want to. Yeah, it'll work wirelessly. Additionally, they include a USB dongle. What does that mean? Plug this into your computer, into your Mac. If you have an adapter, plug it into your phone. Whatever you want that will accept USB controllers, and it'll work with those devices as well. So now if you play an emulation on your PC or something, you can use a CX78 Plus to do that too. Around here on the back of the controller where there used to be a wire, we now have some lights and ports. Here's a charging light. We have a USB-C charging port in. I'm told this can do about 25 hours of continuous play on a fully charged battery. Not bad. Here's a sync light and then a sync button. And around on the face of the controller, it's effectively the same wired version we got earlier in the year, but with new internals. The buttons feel just as good and clicky. The same stick, which you can screw on and off if you like to just, use a D-pad if you want. Or if you want to get adventurous, you can even try alternate tops for the D-pad, like this ColecoVision one that my buddy Paul sells in his Etsy store. If you didn't see my video on that, I'll put a link to it right up there. This feels pretty good. To pair this wireless controller, just put the DB9 dongle right here in the controller port of the 7800 Plus. A little light will start flashing right here on top of the dongle. Just tap the sync button once. I've already paired these. The lights go solid. You're ready to play. And as for using it on a computer, almost the same deal. So just plug the dongle into your PC. It'll show up. If it's blinking, come to the sync button and hold it down. It'll start flashing fast. And then it paired up when it's solid. And now, let's open this up. There's our controller. Button 1, button 2, and all the directionals. That's what it's supposed to do. And finally, the third main element is the pack-in game for the 7800 Plus, which is Bentley Bears Crystal Quest, or should I say Bob DiCrescenzo's Bentley Bears Crystal Quest. I had a chance to speak with Bob not too long ago. I'll throw a link up in the corner if you want to see that. And it's really just awesome that a lifelong Atari fan has had his homebrew adopted and inducted into official. He wrote an official sequel now for Crystal Castles, and it's now on the 7800 Plus and available to play. Around back, screenshot, a brief description, and down here they're highlighting the Atari Plus platform compatibility. You can play this game on and with a 2600 Plus, a 7800 Plus or original, a CX78 Plus or original, a CX40 Plus or original, or a Pro Line controller. All of those can be used with Bentley Bears Crystal Quest. As you're opening up the box, a little added Easter egg touch here. Pop it open. So inside we have a cartridge and we have a manual. The lack of a printed manual in some early Atari reissue cartridges was a miss, but they have definitely caught on. It's something that we want to see. Full color manual, all the instructions, how to play the game. Let's go to the credits. I just want to see my buddy Bob. Let's see. There he is, Robert DiCrescenzo, along with his collaborators who brought us Bentley Bears Crystal Quest. With all the key players assembled then, I'm eager to do some testing on the 7800 Plus. I have some cartridges and controllers I want to try out to kind of put that new chipset through its paces, and then ultimately, we're going to pair it with Bentley Bears Crystal Quest and the new CX78 Plus wireless controller for a little play session. The ultimate game guide app for NES has been updated to include Super NES. The app is now free to try with a sampling of content and a purchase option to unlock the full library for each system. Manage both your NES and your Super NES collections in a single app. The entire libraries of both systems are covered with reviews, screenshots, cart images, box art, and information such as genre, publisher, release date, estimated price, and more. Also features tips, codes, passwords, Game Genie codes, and magazine print ads. Sync your collection with a free cloud account and view the estimated value. Available now at embraceware.com/GenX. We're all powered up and hooked to the TV. No game inserted yet because I want to show you some of the new quality of life improvements in what you can see here is software version 2.0.1. With no game inserted, if you hold down Select and Start here on the console, it goes into some configuration of filters that you can apply to the gameplay. You can navigate with the Select button and then toggle through the settings with the Start button. So 50 Hertz mode, you can enable disable. A bilinear filter. If you don't want the super crunchy pixels, you have that choice. I'm gonna turn that on. phosphor. Now this, you can have some crazy bloom on this at high. I'm gonna leave it on auto. I'll have a little bit there. And if you want a 2-button 2600, it's currently disabled for games like what, Omega Race and I don't even know what else. You can enable it so that it will work there. So that might just be an option for Omega Race. I don't know. And you come down, hit save, and it's committed. Still waiting for a game to be inserted. Now we already know the 7800 Plus can do all the things the 2600 Plus could do. I want to touch on the things that needed improvement back in the 2600 Plus days and see how they work here. So I've got Super Breakout running, and so this is the paddle that came with my 2600 Plus, and I want to see if that jitter is gone. And so as I turn the dial, I'm looking for any of that like jitter, like it gets there and it wiggles or it jerks back, and I'm just moving it to the left ever so slowly. And I'm not seeing any of that jitter. As I move it, it feels right. I mean, you can see maybe there is still a couple of milliseconds of delay. You can see that, right? You can see as I move really quickly, it takes a couple of, but let's just try in real world. Let's go and try to play the game. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's hard to quantify, but those last minute little adjustments that with a jitter, it could really mess you up. I'm not having that problem any longer. Look at this. Look, I can be over here out of the way. Let's get where I need to be. No problem. Yeah, okay. Well, this bodes well. I can't wait to see how they do with the driving controller that I understand works now. Oh, Indy 500. I'm gonna tell you, you might as well not play Indy 500 unless you have a good driving controller, because it's just, the game is all in the controls. So with the way the paddle performed, I'm curious to see how the driving controller. Remember the 2600 didn't work at all, so. Oh, look at that. Look at that. All right, hammer down. That's the way you play Indy 500 right there. Oh! Look at that. Clean laps. And it feels so immediately responsive. Look at my little car. You can see him go, right? Oh, you got to get a couple of these driving controllers and a copy of Indy 500 and sit down with a buddy. I have had more fun in my days. Oh, and it finally works right. Look at that. How about something a little more challenging? Here's a modern game, Circus Convoy from Audacity Games. Running like a champ. Yep, and I'm using the 78 Plus here. And another one that could have been a challenge, here's John Van Ryzen's spiritual successor to Hero, Alien Abduction, also from Audacity. Oh, yeah. Save the girl. There we go. Some health. Oh, how about the dynamite? Kaboom! And land. Save the girl. Works like a charm. You know we're not going to not play Yars Revenge. That's got to happen. You see I have just a little bit of that phosphor turned on, and you can see it softens the image just enough. I quite like it. Oh, just missed him. Kaboom! How about some Donkey Kong? Way to go, Gary Kitchen. Here I come, Pauline. And speaking of Donkey Kong, I pulled a few of my 7800 carts off the shelf to try here. So let's try the 7800 Donkey Kong. Here we go. Yeah! Let's try a little hammering. Beautiful. We got some Centipede. And even some Dig Dug. Why not? Now, let me squish this guy. Oh, just missed him. You're not going to escape. Gotcha. Now, with all those good tests behind us, not everything is rosy. I played some Star Raiders. The Star Raiders control pad is still not working. I tried Zookeeper from Champ Games. It uses bank switching. Still not working. But many other things we looked at today were not working at all just a year ago. And it's the dedication of Atari and PlayOn working on the firmware to make them possible. We have improvements in chips, improvements in software. So now, here's the culmination of the review. We've got the 7800 Plus. I've got Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest. I've got my Wireless CX78 Plus. This is the experience you can expect if you choose to purchase a 7800 Plus. Here we go. Let's go and get the gems. There we go. All right, so now this is wireless, so stay with me. I'm gonna walk away. So I'm just walking to the other side of the room. I'm standing probably 10 or 15 foot away. I hope you can still hear me. I can see the TV. I don't know if you can hear me, but I am playing Bentley Bear's Crystal Quest much further away than if I had a cable to play it. And on my way back. I'm coming back. Here I am. Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice any trouble with the wireless at a distance. Certainly not. Get that skeleton. Let's get at least one honeypot, shall we? Whoa! Get these guys. Get up here. There it is! Yay! All right, let's keep going. You die. Dumb trees. Whoop! Let me in. Yeah. Oh, good job. Thanks, Bob. Oh, big shout out to Hello Mutta, Hello Fada in the soundtrack. That's cool. Woo, that's close. Whoa! There we go, there we go! Oh, there's a tree. Nice. And up and over. Oh, there's a gem. I didn't get the gem. Oh, sneaky. Had to go around the other way to get the gem. I didn't do that. Take that, skeleton. Can you imagine having this back in the day? And in we go. Well, go ahead and consider me a convert. Coming into this review, I was of the mindset that, you know, if the 7800 Plus doesn't just do some amazing big whiz-bang new thing that the 2600 couldn't, you don't really need it. Also, in the same marketplace, just update the 2600 Plus. And the 7800 does not have any one big single whiz-bang thing. And what it does have is a year of improvement over the 2600 Plus, improvements in the hardware, improvements in the software, improvements in compatibility, improvements all around the board to where now I'm like, you kind of do need this. Maybe you don't need them both, but if you might, you know, phones come around each year, you might want to kind of upgrade to the newest one because there's so much new that does work that even with software is not going to happen on the 2600 Plus. And there's stuff I couldn't show you. Like I know they've done improvements in like compatibility with PAL games, lots of games, PAL and otherwise. Pitfall 2 now works properly. That's just been in software for a while, and the updated firmware that's in beta still. The trackball, that 2600 trackball, it now works. In trackball mode, no less, not just in joystick mode. There's so much there, none of it is huge, but all of it aggregates together to present me with a package that is a more mature, a more fleshed out version of the 2600 Plus. It just looks different, along with all those improvements. So with all of that being said, I am going to award the new Atari 7800 Plus 4 1/4 tokens out of 5. Yeah, if you have the 2600 Plus, maybe you don't have to have the 7800 Plus. If you have neither, this version is a clear no-brainer. It's gonna have a better experience with better compatibility across the board. All of that coupled with the new games that are being released, the continued support for the Atari Plus platform, and who knows what else Atari has up their sleeve, makes the 7800 Plus an easy recommendation. I'm going to throw links over my shoulders here and here to some other Atari coverage that I've done recently. Of course, I certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next time. Bye-bye.